Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Imam Sahib says that while going through these blessed day of Ramadan, it is our good fortune to be guided by the Holy Prophet ﷺ's hadith, and in doing so we are enabled to make our lives better and better. So the first tradition in this regard has been related by Hazrat Muaz Radhiyallahu Anhu. He said that he mentioned to the Holy Prophet ﷺ and requested him to tell him of some action that would ensure his entry to heaven and would block his path to hell. Imam Sahib says that I have to mention before I mention the tradition, I wish to mention how deep the desire of the companions was to make their lives successful lives, and when the time comes of being before Allah, then their destiny should be the nearness of Allah and the heaven of Allah. So this is something that we find various different companions asking similar questions. Imam Sahib says that sometimes one companion would ask about the paths to heaven, and then the other might come and say that, "O Prophet of Allah, tell me of some deed that I might do that would take me to heaven." So this desire is something which is extremely pure, and this is something that should be in each one of us should have this desire in their hearts, that they should try to search and seek such paths that leads them to heaven, and one can become saved from punishment. And we should seek and make an effort throughout our lives to try and walk the paths that lead to heaven. In this particular tradition, when this companion asked about the paths to heaven, the Holy Prophet ﷺ responded to him in mentioning paths that he had mentioned before, and then he also added some. So the first time the Holy Prophet ﷺ said was that you have asked me something very very major, and its succinct answer is difficult. Of course, the Holy Prophet ﷺ was always speaking about extremely important questions very succinctly, but the Holy Prophet ﷺ said that if Allah gives the capacity to someone, then it is not difficult, it is easy. One can perform such acts in our lives, one can follow such paths which can take a person straight to heaven. And what are those paths? We should know about them, and we should adopt such methods. We should not only obviously learn about them, but we should also act in accordance with the guidance provided in them. So in today's there's the particular answer that Huzur gave to this question to Hazrat Muaz Radhiyallahu Anhu. He said that if Allah gives you the capacity, then this method can be easy as well. So the means of this is, number one, to worship Allah, which means to follow every single path, every single commandment of Allah, and to sacrifice oneself on them, and to shower oneself on the commandments of Allah, and one should bow before Allah completely, and we should kill one's own sinful self, and this is the true worship. So he said to worship Allah, which means that act in accordance with every single commandment of Allah. So this was the first condition to the path of salvation. So this was expressed first before everything else, that path to deliverance from sin is to worship Allah, and then to steadfastly walk that path throughout one's life. And this is the most certain and surefire method of going into heaven. And then the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, do not associate any partner with him. If one associates a partner with Allah, then the worship becomes, the soul of the worship is finished. So don't ever associate anyone a partner with Allah. And then the Holy Prophet ﷺ said that perform salat regularly. This performance of salat is so important, and it is mentioned repeatedly in the words of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Sometimes some people are good at some prayers, and then some people become lazy about other salats. And for example, in the month of Ramadan, people wake each other up, wake family members up for salat, and they go to the mosques more often, etc. And they are much more regular with their salat. But it is seen extremely unfortunately that after the salat, after the month of Ramadan finished, they do not remember they do not remember how they were, the actions that they were performing in Ramadan. So this is extremely important, that one should continue this, and so because this is the key to entering heaven. And then the Holy Prophet ﷺ said after this that you should, if you meet the conditions of zakat to be obligatory, then you should give the zakat. If someone ignores zakat, then it is tantamount to controverting a basic command of Islam. So how can he then hope to attain salvation? So this is one of the basic tenets of Islam. And then the Holy Prophet ﷺ said that keep fast in the month of Ramadan. When the month of Ramadan comes, every mature and adult sane person must fast. Exception from fasting are available for those sick or on a journey. And so there are several conveniences and means of making exceptions that are granted in Islam. But in general, one can say that every mature man and woman who is enjoying good health, fasting is obligatory on them. Imam Sahib said, of course, it can be difficult for someone who is used to eating 3 times a day and who has to remain hungry throughout the day, but it's not impossible. Imam Sahib says that one never ever hears someone dying from fasting, that someone keeps a fast and then because of the hunger they die. Imam Sahib says that although there are exceptions, but what should be remembered is that generally the keeping the fast and not leaving fast without any legitimate reason is extremely important. And then the next matter the Holy Prophet ﷺ mentioned of the path to heaven was that the Holy Prophet ﷺ said that performing Hajj at the house of Allah should be performed. It's a huge good deed, and it's a huge good fortune and a means of absorbing the extreme blessings of Allah. Imam Sahib said that this hadith also tells us that the Holy Prophet ﷺ did not just repeat the same 2 or 3 matters repeatedly. He, in accordance with the occasion, whatever was appropriate, he would give the advice that matched that. Imam Sahib is saying that at the different types of advice he used to give, so all of them are correct, obviously, and we should look at them equally, and we should try to act on them, each and every one of them. And these traditions are such which are makes our path towards the nearness of Allah and towards heaven very, very easy, because which of us can say that I don't care about going to heaven? Of course, everyone has this desire. So these are the matters that can take us there, which the Holy Prophet ﷺ has clearly told us. So may Allah enable us to act in accordance with these blessed traditions and benefit from them. Ameen summa ameen.